we're going to take a break. Well, first we're going to close the door. We're going to take a break from news on the news because I don't even know what to say anymore. The information is so bad. And like at this point, the joke is on all of us because we were told just be good boys and girls and stay inside for 2 weeks, and somehow magically in 2 weeks we'll eradicate a virus off the earth. And that's what like the majority of people did, and all the business shut down, and then 2 weeks and 4 weeks and 6 weeks. And the part that is just, I mean, it's obvious from all the headlines now that the media is like hell-bent on scaring the piss out of you from doing what we're doing, which is now we're like starting to reopen things. Unless you live in North Carolina, I don't even know what we're doing. Not reopening the economy is what we're doing. So we're now at the end of like, you know, when staying at home and starting to reopen the economy. But like at the same time, now we have all this testing. And so as testing has started, the numbers are going like, right? So this whole like flatten the curve bullshit, you know, it's going way, way up because so many people have had it and didn't require hospitalization and didn't require like an emergency. And so what does that mean? Well, if your death rate was here and this was how many cases you knew about and we were still at like 98%, well now if your numbers are then that means your death rate is like way less than it was before. And so now I see these people who were so diligent about believing everything the government and media told them are like, why the hell are we opening back up again? Like the numbers are going through the roof because it was never about saving your life. And if you look at a map of the United States of America and look at the states who are opening and look at the states like mine who just come up with new regulations against playgrounds on a weekly basis. If you can't see that this is political at this point, then I have an invisible bridge that I would like to sell you. But Cuomo may be putting an offer on it before you can. I'm feeling kind of flash dancey today. Like there's some side shoulder. And don't give me that like we should keep staying home forever just to save one life. Bullshit. That is the hollow emotional argument that people put behind whatever cause that they've decided to stand behind. There's some creepy guy walking around back behind my car. He's gonna do it again. Although, there he is. I have 7 opportunities in this car to rectify that situation if he wants to get handsy. Someone yelled this at me today on the internet, that if I want to reopen North Carolina or the economy, I should nominate 1 or 2 people from my own family to die because I don't care about old people or life. And I was like, I can nominate way more than 2 people from my family. Do you want a full list? And furthermore, if you're so concerned about loss of life, I live between 2 military bases. There is one in Fayetteville, which is affectionately known as Fayette-Nam. And then right down the street is Camp Lejeune in Jacksonville, where regularly, planes full of young men and women take off to go do a job that some of them don't come home for, a thankless job. You don't even know their names. And I don't see anybody ever get upset about that. Like, how about 1 or 2 people off of those? We send them to be sacrificial lambs all the time so that you can have the freedom to sit at your home and yell at me with your angry thumbs and do all that virtue signaling from the comfort of your home. But what about that loss of life? Where were you on those? It's just internet pontificating at this point. That doesn't even make sense. When you get new data, you should make new policies and adjust accordingly. But like, we've got to keep everybody afraid. And since so many people have made a decision to be terrified weeks ago and won't let go of it, like, anyway, so I said I wasn't going to talk about news on the news. I'm not going to talk about the media. Instead, we're going to talk about Instacart. We'll have a little Roman rant about Instacart. I'm going to tell you why you are not going to make any money doing Instacart. And also, if you want to use Instacart so you can leverage another human being as a human body shield so you don't get sick, how to put in your order and like make it work so that your order gets taken quicker, and like things go better. Okay, like so many of you, when this started, my business shit the bed, and so I needed a quick way to make money. And so I checked out like some of the gig economy stuff. I chose Instacart because nobody can grocery shop like I can. I mean, I am in and out of there. I am like scorched earth policy. Sherman's March on the South has nothing compared to how I grocery shop. I'm like, in there like pushing strollers out of my way, old people. I get in and out. I am a huge fan of self-checkout. I don't care if you're not. And in fact, everyone who complained about self-checkout is like now using self-checkout so that they don't have to, interact with a human being in a glass shield. Anyway, I am so good at it that I thought I'm going to make a small fortune with this Instacart. This is my calling. All right. So for all these people who are afraid to be outside, I'm just going to capitalize on that. Perfect. I will become essential. What I didn't realize is that I'm only really good at grocery shopping when it's my food. Because I eat the same thing every single day and every single week. Like, variety is not the spice of my life. So I know where everything is. Furthermore, I only shop at one grocery store, Walmart. If Sam Walton doesn't sell it, I don't need it. So I've never been in these other grocery stores for these fancy schmancy people. I went into some of the other grocery stores, there was music playing. I was like, what in the fresh new hell is this? There's like, at Walmart, there's a greeter who hates you, doesn't make eye contact, and is really just making sure you're not stealing anything. At these other grocery stores, they're like, how are you today? I'm like, it's none of your fucking business. I came here to make money. You get the app, you got to answer some questions online and like go through their little study exam. They basically want to know how good you are at being someone else's bitch. And like, so if, they need a substitution or you can't find something, like how are you going to handle it, blah, blah, blah. It's really easy. You pass the test and then they send you an Instacart credit card, right? It's a debit card. So you don't have to put their items on your own credit card. And they send you a little lanyard to like let everybody know that you're an Instacart shopper. So I threw that away pretty quickly because, again, it's none of your damn business. And then you get the app. You've got all your like potential orders in there. What do you think you're going to pick? What do you think someone's going to pick? They're going to pick the one you can make the most money. So they tell you on your first order, pick a small batch. Don't go crazy. I pick a double order to do on one shot. And I get in the grocery store and it's like all these other Instacart people because like no one's in the grocery store. And they can see because I'm like wide-eyed and like I can't find anything. And I'm looking at the phone. And they're like, you must be new. I'm like, yeah, I'm new. What's the secret? And they're like, the secret is don't take a double order on your first time. I'm like, I'm Casey Roman. I can do whatever I want. Get out of my way. Double orders, you will make some more money because you're getting two done at the same time. But it is like a train wreck. First of all, I got to keep Kiara and Tanya's food separate in one cart. And then like make sure that I've got like who is who. And it's not very clear on the app. Here's the biggest issue. I know where all my food is. I had no idea that this was the general staple of the American diet. I get why so many of us are enormous now and why we have all these pre-existing conditions that make us, extra at risk for coronavirus. Holy shit, who knew everyone ate that much cereal? Good God, I had to go down aisles of the grocery store that I didn't even know existed. Like there's a whole aisle for sauce. If you have to put sauce on food, then you didn't cook it right the first time. I don't put sauce on food. Ugh. I put ketchup on everything, but ketchup isn't a condiment or a sauce. It's a way of life. Cereal for days. Soda, holy shit. Most of my car on an order is full of soda. You walk around aimlessly. That is your whole day, is walking around a grocery store trying to find the hyper-specific thing. And now that they've got these damn like runways that you can only go one way down an aisle, which I'm not doing. Like every second that I am shopping, I'm not making money. I gotta get this. I gotta go. So I'll be in the grocery store and I'm going north down a south lane and I don't give a fuck. I gotta get this done. And I'll hear him over the intercom like, please follow the guidelines. And I'll find the security camera and just make eye contact. Hold, and then keep walking the way I was walking. What are you gonna do? Find me? arrest me, like pull me over in the aisle and ask me if I knew which direction I was going in. I knew. The biggest problem you have is that the grocery stores are like depleted right now, so practically everything that they want isn't there. So then I gotta go text back and forth with Tabitha asking her if a different brand of organic apple juice is okay. And like maybe she answers the phone, but probably not. Because, like, you're her servant right now. And so you'll be in the juice aisle, another aisle that, like, I've never been in. I go to the Coke Zero aisle. And I don't even have to go all the way down because it's right at the end. Is another type of organic juice okay? Well, what other types of organic juice do they have? I'm like, there's a whole fucking aisle. Like, what? Pick one. The substitutions are a nightmare. If you're going to order Instacart, like, please have in your brain a substitution because there's, like, nothing at the store anymore. They don't have organic bananas. Are regular fine? Oh, no, regular not fine. I'm like, you know, they have a peel on them, so you'll peel off all the chemicals. The bananas on the inside. Does it matter? It matters. It matters a lot. Picking out the produce for people, that is really specific because who knew that it was that important which kind of tomato it was? Is it vine ripe? Is it aroma? Aren't you gonna put it somewhere dark anyway in your stomach? You get through the produce and then you gotta go through all the aisles in the center. They do kind of map it out in the way they tell you things to like follow the format of the store. But again, I don't go to these fancy people's stores. I go to Walmart. I have no idea where any of this food is. Your whole goal is to get them to not cancel something on the list because then you're not making any money. So if someone sends you a text message and they say, hey, they don't have that, please for the love of God, don't say, oh, we'll just take it off. You are a grade A black belt asshole if you order ice cream on Instacart. This is the South. It's hot. And I have got to transport your Moose Tracks, Briars, whatever the hell, like to the other side of the county. The ice cream will like throw off the whole thing. And people seem to always need a lot of cereal, a lot of soda, and a lot of ice cream. You get through the whole thing. Now your car is like overflowing. You've got like on the wheels, you've been hanging loaves of bread, stuff in your arms to like keep everything organized, even if you're not doing a double order. And then you got to get to checkout and you ring the whole thing up and you swipe the credit card. And then you got to, make sure it's all separate in your car. So I've got like Tabitha's shit here and I got someone else's shit in the front and then in the back. And then the thing that keeps you from making any money is that people who live 30 minutes away, they have to have that grocery store, the furthest distance from their home. So you lose all your money on the drive time. I don't want to alarm anybody, but the milk at grocery store A that's closer to your house is the same flavor as the milk at the one all the way in the other direction. But no, people they need Publix milk, not Harris Teeter milk. It makes a huge difference, I guess. So now you have to drive all over Creation and you've got like multiple stops, right? I get to a house and I'm loading everything up. You can't do Instacart if you're judgmental. So like I should have never applied. And I hate plastic bags. So I've got all this shit in plastic bags because that's what everybody gets. So like I'm already hating you before I get to your door. You get to the door and you're like struggling and you knock and you'll hear this. Just leave it at the door. What? Just leave it at the porch. I can't hear what the fuck you're saying. And then they'll like open the door just a little. And all you'll see is a mask. They're inside their own home. A mask and like the eyeballs. Like this. And they'll say, just leave it on the porch. And it happens all the time. It's all I can do to not lean into that little crack in the door and go, are you kidding me? All this stuff that I'm about to bring in your home is full of bacteria. People have been touching it. It's been shipped all over the place. It probably has the Rona up, down, and across. Are you kidding me? If you're that afraid to even so much as open your door, but just tell me to leave it out on the porch, your ice cream, then like maybe you need to start a garden and be way more protective. I'll tell you why you need to be that protective, because you're eating all this shit. Then I go to the next one, all the way on the other side of town. Same thing, ice cream, meat, all that. It's hot as all get out. and they may or may not come to the door. So you're not making any money because you had to drive 20 to 30 minutes to the grocery store. You spent an hour and a half shopping and then another 20, 30 minutes driving all over. And like, you might make $30, maybe. But see, here's where people go wrong, is that they're stingy, and so if your order's not getting taken or it's getting taken and then canceled, it's because for all that time and running around, they'll put like a $2 tip on it. And some people say, well, I put a $2 tip on that, but then when they get there, I give them $5. I'm like, right, but they don't know that in the car. They don't know that. So you're not making any money. Here's the criminal part. They have 3 days to adjust their tip after service, which is criminal. Name me the product or delivery service where you have 3 days to change your mind. And what people are doing is that because they know that when we look at all of our orders, everyone picks the one with the biggest tip, that people are adding fake inflationary tips so that they get their order served first. And then after you deliver it, and like in that 3-day period, they go back and adjust the tip lower or delete it entirely, which is really stupid because at that point, I know where you live. I will come set your plants on fire. I mean, what a horrible thing to do, to bait people with a tip who need it and then delete it. Criminal. Or, Mrs. I needed Moose Tracks ice cream so bad, and honey, based on what I saw peeking out behind that door, you did not need that ice cream. No, girlfriend. They'll tell you to leave it on the porch. You leave all like meat and cheese and milk and ice cream and all that on the porch, and then you'll get an email from the company that's like, hey, just FYI, people want their ice cream delivered without it being melted. And you're like, what is this saying? Like, God helps only those who help themselves? Maybe if you would open the door and put your shit in there instead of waiting for coronavirus to burn off of your products in the sun, you would have Moose Tracks and not Moose Dribble inside that container right now. Tabitha. So the reason that I stopped doing it, because I was going to do one today, but a couple people figured out that I'm connected with on social media that I was doing Instacart and like messaged me and asked about tipping, like how to tip and like how to, make it the best for their order. And I told them all this, and then I saw them posting later in the day these things about how if you go outside and you don't wear a mask, and if you want to reopen the economy, that you want people to die, and how selfish you are and irresponsible. And I'm like, wait a second, you're totally okay with me going out so that you can have this cavalier attitude about everyone should stay at home. But what you really mean is everyone except the people who are shopping for your groceries, who are picking up your garbage, who are delivering all your mail, all the nurses, all the doctors, all the policemen, all the firefighter. They should go to work. They're fine. But like, everybody else is an asshole for going outside or for having the nerve to say that we should reopen the economy and like you should go back to work. I know you're making more on unemployment right now, but yeah, you should go back to work. So after I saw that, I was like, no, I'm done. I'll figure out a different way to make money. I can always sell decorated breast pumps again. We all saw how that worked out for me. So I'm out. But you will learn a lot about the human diet, the American diet, and how specific people are. If you go, the thing will say they want shredded mozzarella, and you're like, they only have block mozzarella. Oh, well, that won't do. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Like, get a grater. No, don't do it. It's not enough money. Not enough money. Go buy your own groceries. The gig economy, I may try Grubhub next, although I don't know how I'll be less judgmental delivering people's pizzas and burgers and everything else and make eye contact. But it's a little bit less work, and, my car will smell like chicken nuggets forever, but whatever. The gig economy thing is questionable. We've got this whole generation of people who, and I get it, the job economy is shit, but it's really a modern phenomenon that you should pay $100,000 to go to college and then be an employee. Like, look at our grandparents. Who didn't have a grandparent that had their own hardware store or had a beauty shop, or they were all entrepreneurs because that was the only way to make it. And frankly, the only way to make it anymore now is to be an entrepreneur. But working for these companies, that's not an entrepreneur. That's like a bigger scam than your friend who sells whatever kind of new essential oil or legging. And it's like, I own my own business. No, you don't. You own your own pyramid scheme. It's not a pyramid scheme. Okay, so let me get this straight. There's you, and then if you get 5 of your friends, and if they get 5 of their friends, and they get 5 of their... But no, it's not a... You own your own business when your name is on the LLC and you're the one getting sued. If that's not the case, you're just a delivery agent and an inventory holder. Anyway, some of you asked, military, how Mr. Wonderful enjoyed his military care package that I sent last week, and I was so excited to send it. I thought it was so funny. It was so offensive. It was so inappropriate. It was so me. Let me tell you his reaction to his gift. His reaction was absolutely nothing. Nothing. I didn't get a thank you. I didn't get a I received the package. I didn't get a Casey, you are the best friend in the whole wide world. And it was fantastic. And like, everyone should worship the ground you walk on. Like, nothing. Not even close to that. What he did when he got his package was he was talking that day to our mutual friend and like told him that he got it. And it was so funny. And I went like way overboard and like, throughout all the stops and like LOL. But he told our friend, not me, because I'm sure in his hollow man brain, he was like, oh, well, they talk every day, so like he'll tell her. No, I've thought of 50 different ways to set him on fire since then. And so I did what we do in the South. I prayed about it. And God said, Casey, you give for the joy of giving, and you give without an expectation to receive. You do it just for the act alone. And I was like, okay, God, that's true. I really enjoyed doing it. I really enjoyed just even the thought of making his day better. I had so much fun sharing it with everyone on YouTube, so you're right. And then Satan said, he's kind of an asshole. He should have said thank you to you. And if you want, when he deploys, I can arrange it so that he gets incurable gonorrhea. And I was like, yeah. Proceed. Like, guy friends are the greatest thing in the world, but like, at the end of the day, it's still a guy. And all of the guy habits that they have. So anyway, moral of the story is, let's get back in business in the United States of America. Go get your test if you want it. Stay the fuck inside if you want it. But if you are, please, for the love of God, treat the people who are doing all your dirty work with an ounce of respect and stop acting like you are a saint because you're staying inside, because a lot of us aren't, because we have no choice but to work. All right, not all of us qualify for unemployment. Some of us have businesses to run. If you're that terrified, you can still stay inside. There's a choice. That's the beauty of American freedom. And for all you men out there, say thank you.